Good morning, everyone. Welcome for joining us here this morning for this special session from the WEKH Saskatchewan Hub. I am joined by a number of people who I will introduce in just a moment. My name is Gina Grandy, and I am with the Hill and Levine Schools of Business, and I also serve as the lead for the Saskatchewan WEKH Hub. I would like to acknowledge that I'm joining you today from University of Regina, which is situated on the territories of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota, and the homeland of the Métis. This is an important part of our past, our present, and our future. And I also want to express that we recognize that a land acknowledgement alone is not enough to demonstrate our commitment to the Truth and Reconciliation calls to action. And we are finding our way through demonstrating appropriate action to meet these commitments at University of Regina and at the Hill and Levine Schools of Business. In the fall, we brought together a number of support organizations for women entrepreneurs. And one of the things that surfaced from that was feedback around having a resource for women entrepreneurs. I'll say across the province, where do we get access to financial resources? And so today, that's essentially what we're doing. We are bringing together people from 7 different organizations across Saskatchewan to where they will share with you information about financial services, resources, and support offered by their organization so that this can serve as a resource for the people joining us today, but also for those who might want to watch the webinar later. All presenters have 6 minutes for their presentation, so it's going to be pretty tight. We have 7 and we've jammed in an awful lot of information in the next hour. The presenters know, but just so the people joining us aren't alarmed, at 5 minutes into each presentation, I will appear on the screen and do a 1-minute warning for our presenters. Following the presentation, we hope that we'll have about 10 minutes or so for questions, and I'll direct you then to the Q&A box and help to moderate those questions so we can try and answer as many of those as possible. I'm going to introduce all of our speakers before we start and then call on them individually in a particular order. I first, though, want to welcome Asba Malek, who is the student coordinator for West Saskatchewan, and really has been behind coordinating this session. So Asba, I don't know if you want to do a wave, and I want to thank you, Asba, for all your work on getting it pulling this together today. Our first presenter this morning is Olu, who is the financial advisor at the Women's Entrepreneurs of Saskatchewan. Although I don't know if you want to do a wave to people, and very grateful and delighted that you have joined us this morning. Olu joined WESK in May of 2021 as a lending advisor. She has 17 years of financial institution experience that cuts across customer service, accounting, business advisory, credit analysis, and business development. Her understanding of both entrepreneur uniqueness and risk management helps her in assessing financial and non-financial information for decision making. She is a member of the ACCA and certified professional accountant with a bachelor's degree in accounting and an MBA. And she loves cooking, music, reading, and spending time with her family in Saskatoon. Thank you so much, Olu, for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're also joined by Cree with the Saskatchewan Indian Equity Foundation. And Cree is a business development officer in Saskatoon. She is a member of the Moose Cree First Nation in Ontario, but was raised in Saskatchewan as her father is from the James Smith Cree Nation. She has been with the Saskatchewan Indian Equity Foundation since March of 2016. Her role as a business development officer is to assist First Nation entrepreneurs throughout Saskatchewan to either start up, expand, or acquire a business through their equity contribution program. Cree also holds a designation as a professional community and economic developer as set by the Saskatchewan Economic Development Association. And I also understand that I believe it's Melissa who's going to join Cree at partway through her presentation Good morning, Cree, and thank you for joining us today. Susan Bader is also joining us from Communities Future Saskatchewan. She is the manager of the Communities Futures Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program in rural Saskatchewan and Manitoba. She assists 29 Community Future offices, supports the success of rural entrepreneurs with health conditions or disabilities. Susan values rural living and feels fortunate to work, live, and raise her family in a rural community. She comes from a family of entrepreneurs and was previously self-employed for 10 years as a sign language interpreter and consultant. Welcome and thanks for joining us today, Susan. We're also joined by Chelsea, who was born and raised in Saskatoon with her mother as a single parent. Chelsea is with the Entrepreneurs with Disability program, and it is run out of North Saskatchewan Independent Living Centre in Saskatoon. Chelsea graduated from the Edwards School of Business. I won't hold that against you, Chelsea, with a Bachelor of Commerce degree in 2012, shortly after she began working as a program manager for the Entrepreneurs with Disabilities programs. What she says is, I love what I do. I love the clients we serve, and I love all of the sweat and tears that often comes with the job. I am beyond humbled and excited to be leading this great organization into a bright future. We have such a great team and are gaining momentum of growth, fundraising, and awareness, and cannot wait to see what the future has in store. So Chelsea, I want to welcome you and thank you for being here this morning. From Startup TNT, we have both Hassan and Jesse joining us. Jesse is a multifaceted entrepreneur, investor, and consultant with a broad skill set, wide knowledge base, and extensive network. Jesse enjoys helping others create a better future for themselves and for us all. In 2021, he formed We Grow Capital and Consulting with his father and joined Startup TNT as the local lead in Saskatchewan to achieve those goals. Through these roles and more, he supports the growth of the Saskatchewan economy and has helped prairie startups raise over $2 million. Hassan is also joining us from Startup TNT, and he is a retired Air Force officer with 30 years military leadership experience in flying operations, training, engineering, project management, and flight testing. By supporting the growth of his wife's dental clinic, he has also gained 14 years of experience in business operations and personnel management in the dental industry. Finding many similarities in the drive, passion, commitment, leadership skills, and other attributes he saw while serving in the Air Force and running a business, he's recently decided to turn his attention to angel investing and supporting local startup companies and entrepreneurs throughout the Startup TNT organization. Thank you, Jesse and Hassan, for joining us today, and welcome. We also have Judy joining us today from RISE, and RISE is a national charity that empowers Canadians with mental health and addiction challenges to achieve greater economic and social inclusion through entrepreneurship. Judy has started and operated 3 distinct businesses, from small home base to a larger retail outlet. Working in many different industries and cities has given her insight on what makes a successful venture. Currently, she's working as a business advisor with RISE in CMHA, Manitoba, and Winnipeg, supporting entrepreneurs to start and grow their dream venture. Welcome, Judy, and thank you for being here this morning. And last, but certainly not least, we have Tahira, who is joining us from the Well in Tula. So Tahira is a CPA and entrepreneur who supports entrepreneurs and visionaries in managing their business finances and growing their profitability through one-on-one financial strategy sessions, part-time CFO services, monthly group coaching, and business tax services. Tahira is the CEO of Tula and is a partner at The Well. Good morning, Tahira, and thank you for joining us this morning. So you can see we have an amazing lineup of speakers joining us this morning, and I'm going to jump right in, and I'm going to invite Ola to the stage, so to speak. Ola, and you have, as you know, 6 minutes. I will then close off. You won't see me once you start, and it's over to you, Ola.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you for having me here. On behalf of WESK, I want to begin by acknowledging that the work we do here at WESK takes place on treaty territory and homeland of the Métis. We pay our respect to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationship with one another. So what we do here at WESK, we're a nonprofit membership organization that supports women that are starting, building, or growing businesses in line with our vision to close the entrepreneurship gap in Saskatchewan. That's what we always advocate for. So we put in our very best to see that women succeed, they thrive, and they can also match up with the other gender. We've been around since 1995, and we have over 1,000 members across Saskatchewan. We're funded by Prairies Canada, and we have offices in Regina and Saskatoon, but we do serve the whole province. We have a range of services that we can categorize under financing, business advising, learning, and connecting. But I'll start with the money matter, which is financing this morning. At WESK, we can provide our women with loans of up to $150,000, and it's going to be at an interest rate. The payment terms, the conditions are all flexible depending on the kind of business that we're looking at, and we don't charge penalties for prepayment or paying out the loan early. And we do have some eligibility requirements, which is, first of all, the business must be operated and owned by a woman or women. Then it must be 50% or more than 50% woman-owned, meaning that you can have a male on the board, but overall, the business must be owned by a woman, 50% and above. Then the woman must be a Canadian citizen or landed immigrant with permanent residency. The business must be registered in Saskatchewan. It must be operating or about to operate in Saskatchewan, especially when you're thinking of the startups. It's not like you've started, so we also accommodate that kind of business. Then the client must be 18 years old or older. So you must be an adult for you to be able to apply for financing. And then, of course, again, we expect that our clients have a personal investment in the business. So you're expected to have equity contribution of about 20% in the total project cost. And we also require security for the loan, depending on the risk and the amount of the loan. That is what is going to determine the kind of security we'll be requesting for. But the basic security is a general security agreement and the personal guarantee of the owner of the company. The application will also require a 3-year financial statement for existing businesses and cash flow projection, personal net worth statement, and of course, the loan application form. So this financing can go for startups, expansion, you want to buy a business, you need working capital, you want to purchase equipment, and lots more. Just bring it over, we're willing to take a look at it. But before we step into financing, you need to, first of all, get into the business advising. That is where it all starts. So you have one-on-one appointments with a team of expert advisors. They'll be able to walk you through your business plan, the cash flow, and they put your ideas in more perspective. They direct you in the right places to get information for your research. They also analyze the research you've put together, to solve problems, and it's also a great opportunity to brainstorm with an expert who has had quite a lot of experience. So all in all, what our business advisors try to do is to make your business dreams come true. And we also have the programs, which is part of the learning and connecting. We have the Founders Table, which is for women in tech. We have a Matchstick program, which is also for Indigenous Métis people who are interested in entrepreneurship. Then we have the exchange where we have experienced women in the board, and they assist women who want to grow their business and take it to the next level. And last of all, we have the Propel program, which is a new one for us here at WESK with the support of the government of Saskatchewan. And in addition to all this, we have webinars, we have Lunch and Learn, and a lot more. You can connect with us via Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And you can sign up for membership, have access to more free resources at www.wesk.ca. And if you have any question or you need to make an inquiry, my name is Olufato Imbo. I am the learning advisor. My contact details are on screen. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you so much, Ula. I would say impeccable timing. Thank you so much for that. And hopefully we'll have some time at the end for questions that may come to you. I'd like to now move to Cree. And Cree, I will hand it over to you to start as well. And you have your 6 minutes. Over to you, Cree, and welcome.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Cree Chichu, Business Development Officer at SIEF. I'm going to talk to you about the grant program. I just work with the grant program here. It's a needs-based program developed by the federal government. It is still their program. We just administer it for them, so we still have to abide by their policies. It is a conditional grant to financially assist in a proportion of your total project costs. We go anywhere from 30, 40, or 50% of your total project costs, up to $99,999 for an individual, up to $250,000 for a band or community. The qualifications for the grant is you must be based in Saskatchewan. You and your business must be based in Saskatchewan. You must be status. You must, your project must be full-time, and you have to work full-time in your project. You can't be employed anywhere else. You must perform the core work of the project, which means if you are going to be opening up a hair salon, you have to be the one that is licensed and registered to perform that work. Let's see. You must have 10% of your own cash equity, so 10% of your total project cost. You must have that in the bank. Like I said, we do anywhere from 30 to 50% of the total project cost. The rest must be a bank loan. The ineligible projects for the grant is anything that is passive, anything relating to tobacco, gambling, cannabis, sexually exploitive materials, alcohol, lending or pawn shops, or the creation or enhancement of firearms. The average timeline for the grant program to get an approval or a decline would be an average of 1 to 2 months, as we have a committee that comes in. They decide if you're approved or declined. We don't have no say in the office here. So we ask that everyone who is applying or who wants to apply to contact a business development officer first to ensure that you are eligible to apply for the grant. Now, for my contact information, you can just go onto our website, www.sief.sk.ca, and my contact information is on there. Now I'm going to pass it over to Melanie Sunchild so she can talk about the new program that we have here at SIEF.
Dansa. Melanie Sunchild, Nisigasun, Thunderchild First Nation, Botania. Good morning, my name is Melanie Sunchild. I come from Thunderchild First Nation. I am the new business support officer for the upcoming Indigenous Entrepreneur Program. Today, I would like to provide you with a bit of information in regards to the upcoming program. The program has been developed to focus on building the capacity for the Indigenous women and developing tools, resources, and supports for the Indigenous women to build and grow their businesses. Also to increase representation of Indigenous women in business throughout Saskatchewan. And also we want to be able to inspire women in our communities to see that entrepreneurship is a viable career path. The microloan program has been designed to increase the number of Indigenous women in business once again throughout the province. There is also an educational component with the program. We'll be providing workshops throughout the province. The scheduled dates for these workshops are yet to be determined. In addition, I just wanted to add that we have a dedicated staff with this new program, as we would like to see the Indigenous women succeed within their journeys, with their businesses as well. I would like to thank Cree for giving me a few minutes of her time for the presentation today. I'd like to thank you all as well for providing me a couple minutes of your time. I do look forward with working with our Indigenous Women Entrepreneur Program, as I feel these are quite exciting times. 2022 is a good year to start with our Indigenous women in business. If there is any further information that you may need, you can start by calling SIEF and ask them to contact to transfer to myself. So once again, Melanie Sunchild, the Business Office Support Worker for the upcoming Indigenous Women Entrepreneur Program. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Cree and Melissa. I'm going to hand it over to you now, Susan.
Great, thanks so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Susan Bader, and I work with Community Futures Saskatchewan. And today you're going to be hearing a lot of great programs. And I just want to let you know, if you're not sure who to connect with, just feel free to connect with any of us, and we'll redirect you. We all work together and are here to support entrepreneurs. So Community Futures is a nonprofit organization. We provide loans, advice, and support to rural business owners. We work with entrepreneurs in all stages of business. Community Futures actively supports community-based economic development to create diverse, sustainable rural communities. So Community Futures is a national program, and we have 267 offices across rural Canada. In Saskatchewan, there are 13 offices. So our offices provide services for anybody looking to locate their businesses in a rural community. So we're outside of the city of Regina and outside of the city of Saskatoon. We also work with all Indigenous communities. So what services do we offer? We offer one-to-one business counseling. We can meet with you to discuss your business idea or your business expansion. We're here for the life of your business, from startup to expansion, and then later on to succession planning. We provide workshops and webinars as well as business coaching. Most of our events are listed on our website, but we also list them at the Square One events calendar. We will assist you in writing your business plan, and we can also review your business plan at any time and provide some feedback. So now we'll talk about loans. So we have loans for anybody in startup, business expansion, and that can include times when you just need to purchase new equipment or additional inventory. And our loans are generally up to $150,000, but we can go higher. Our interest rates are based on risk, and they tend to be between prime 2 to prime plus 7, and we provide flexible repayment terms. We don't compete with the banks or credit unions. Instead, we partner with them along with the many organizations that you'll meet here today. For example, if you needed a loan for $300,000 and the credit union was only able to offer $150,000, we would be able to come up with you to provide that additional $150,000. Our loan dollars belong to the community. So anytime a business owner pays back their loan, we use that money to lend to the next business owner. Some of our offices also provide microloans of up to $25,000. We also offer the Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program, and that provides supports to anybody with a disability or health condition, and that loan fund is also $150,000. I'm providing my contact information. If you have any questions at any time, please feel free to reach out, and please visit our website at cfsask.ca. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Susan. Great. And again, hopefully we'll have some time for questions at the end. I'd like to call Chelsea now to step forward.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me today. I'm just going to start my own timer as well. So my name is Chelsea Whizzer, and I'm the Executive Director for the Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program here in Saskatoon. There we are. And so we are part of a network that serves entrepreneurs with disabilities across Saskatchewan. The blue logo is our office here in Saskatoon. So we serve only clients here in Saskatoon. So if you live in Warman or Martensville, we would send you off to the Community Futures office that's closest to Saskatoon. And Community Futures, just like Susan just presented, they have 13 offices across rural Saskatchewan. And then we do have our office in Regina. So if any of you folks are from Regina, I have the contact information at the end of my presentation. So we are also funded through Prairies Economic Development Canada, or Prairies Canada as their new name is called, previously known as Western Economic Diversification Canada. And next slide, please. Oh, perfect, thank you. So what does the Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program offer? So we offer tailored one-on-one business counseling, accessibility counseling, business loans and micro grants depending on the location, business plan supports, lots of free training opportunities and workshops, and then peer support and networking events. Lots of our clients, we'll spend many, many hours with them, depending on their needs or their wants of their business. Clients can, come to us when they're starting up, and then come to us 5 years later when they're growing. So there's no limit on the amount that you can contact our offices. And next slide, please. All right, so here's kind of a breakdown of the 3 offices. So like I said, Saskatoon, we offer loans up to $5,000. Those are basically for any kind of business related purchases. We don't require any equity, and they're kind of character-based loans. So this program is to hopefully eliminate any barriers to somebody who has a disability, who has previously, wasn't able to work a regular 9-to-5 job, or maybe has some not so great credit because of their disability or health condition. We tend to sometimes be able to look past that, as long as they have can show us the willingness and ability to make their monthly loan payments without focusing or without relying on their business income. As we all know, as entrepreneurs, sometimes business income isn't guaranteed. And then we have rural Saskatchewan, or Community Futures, who Susan just presented a little bit more details of their loans. Equity is kind of based on the offices. So they have a really, really good website. If you're in a rural town or rural space, fill in where you're from and they'll give you which office to contact. And also, like Susan said, you can partner with other lending institutions. So if you need more than 150,000, there's always opportunities there. And then the Regina office. So for those Regina folks, the Entrepreneurs with Disabilities is delivered through the South Saskatchewan Independent Living Center, which is another disability organization. And they offer micro grants, actually, not loans, and they can be used for like business registration costs, licensing costs, purchase of business cards, and any kind of disability accommodations. And then we do have a joint website too. I will mention it's at the top of the page. It's edpsas.ca. And thank you for the slide switch. So who is eligible? So all of our programming across Saskatchewan is open to anyone with a self-declared disability or health condition. So that can be anything. It can be invisible, it could be visible, cognitive, learning disabilities, mental health barriers, autism, depression, anxiety, diabetes, Crohn's disease, any kind of health ailment. We do not need doctor's notes or official diagnoses. We find that there's a lot of barriers to a lot of organizations who need, you know, a diagnosis or doctor's information because there's often lag time between those diagnoses. There's wait lists. Getting the doctor's information takes time. So we've removed all of those barriers to eligibility to hopefully help get these entrepreneurs off the ground sooner than later. And next slide, please. So here's all our contact information for each of the offices. So that's myself in Saskatoon. We are located downtown on 5th Avenue, right across from the Star Phoenix building. And then Susan Bader is the manager for Saskatchewan and Manitoba. And if you have any inquiries, you can contact her and she can direct you to the office closest to you. And then Brenda L is the program manager out of Regina. And again, if you're in the Regina area, you can contact Brenda and she can help you out. So I think I have about 20 seconds left. Yeah, I don't know. We do have lots of training events online. So if you want to check out our social media or find us on Eventbrite, lots of workshops on different business topics that are all free and virtual right now. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. And I believe, Jesse, you're presenting on behalf of Startup TNT. Is that right? Over to you.
Yeah, and Hassan is actually here as well. We just get the slides up there on the screen for us. And we'll get this thing started. Yeah, happy to be here today representing Startup TNT. And as I said, we're all about building an awesome startup community. So first off, you can go to the next slide. We should, just a quick introduction, who we are as Startup TNT. Obviously you have myself, and then Hassan. You can just talk a little bit, Hassan, quickly.
Sure, just a quick introduction for myself. You know, as I said, I'm the ambassador for the Regina area for Startup TNT. In terms of my background, there was an intro already done, but I'm a retired Air Force Reserve officer, and also a business operations director for Delta Clinics that owned by my wife.
Yeah, and I run the operations for the whole province, and then we have Kenzie and Kevin, a couple here in Saskatoon. You can see what they do, and then Mike as well, Mike Wilsfeld, who are our ambassadors, part of our team. So we're always looking for more ambassadors to join our team. Next slide. And so what is Startup TNT? So the goal of Startup TNT is we're trying to be the best angel investors in town. So what that means is we're trying to raise the most amount of money for the most startups that generate the highest level of returns for our investors, and also help grow those companies and create a really fun and awesome community for startups. And what we define as startups are companies that have the potential for a global scale. So they do start small, but eventually they'll be something that is eventually take over the world, ideally. Next slide. So with TNT, it actually stands for Thursday Night Tradition. So what we do is we host a happy hour every week. This is how we bring the community together. Great angel investors, connect people. They know all the awesome people in the community that you should be talking to if you're trying to build your business. Whether it's all the different resources that are here today, talking, or the whole smorgasbord that we have out there, actually, of different resources in the community that can help grow your business. And we know all the major players, and if you come to one of these events, you'll meet a lot of them there, as well as get an opportunity to ask some questions and get some insights and create a community that is there to help support you and grow. So in Saskatoon, we meet at either Boffin's at the Innovation Place or 9 Mile, and then Hassan hosts the one down there in Regina. And
yeah, we do Startup TNT in Regina as well. It runs instead of every Thursday, it runs every second Thursday. It's based out of we meet at Computer Social Hall every second Thursday. Typically start about 6. As Jesse said, a great way to build to support businesses, local businesses, is to build a community base, and that's the purpose of meeting on a regular basis, so we can have both investors and entrepreneurs meeting and building a community together.
Yeah. And then the big thing that we do is we build those companies through our investment summit. So if you go to the next slide, it'll show these are the companies that we've invested in so far, not including our Life Sciences Summit finale, which was just the other week. And then we have our Clean Tech finale coming up tomorrow, actually, where we're going to be adding a bunch more companies to the portfolio. And if we go to the next slide, you'll actually see that we've actually, a lot of women have raised capital through Startup TNT. So these are the companies that have female founders, and they've done surprisingly well overall, considering what the industry averages generally are. But TNT has seen about 40%, it kind of fluctuates depending on the summit, of our companies being women-founded companies. And they've raised like over a couple of $1 million total. If we go to the next slide, you'll see how the process works. And I'll let Hassan kind of go through the first 4 steps there real quick.
Yeah, so a quick overview of our process. It starts by having a call out to interested entrepreneurs or founders. We get them to provide their documents, which essentially is their pitch decks and other supporting documentation, so we understand what it is that their company is doing or what their core idea is. We move into a review process where all the investors in Startup TNT, and sometimes this could be a fairly large group, like our summit in the fall had, I think, 85 investors. We review all the material provided by the founders and the entrepreneurs, and we score them and sort them down to a shorter list of about 20 companies. From the 20 company short list, we move into a due diligence process where we get to know the founder more personally and understand exactly what it is that they're proposing as their company.
Yeah.
Jesse, over to you.
Yeah, and then as we continue down, we continue to escalate the due diligence. We get to a top 10, we get into data rooms, we're looking at documents that kind of make up your business, HR, legal, all of that. Then we pick a top 5, we get into a term sheet, and at the end, on the finale night, which you'll see tomorrow with the Clean Tech finale, we announce a winner that gets a pre-guaranteed investment of $5,000 per investor. So that's usually about $150,000 to $200,000 per stream. I'm happy to have a conversation with anyone. Last slide, I think, is next. It's got my contact information there. Our applications are now open for the next summit, and if you want to get involved, please feel free to reach out to me. And Hassan's email is just hassan@startuptnt.com as well. So there you go. Right on time.
Thank you so much, Jesse and Hassan, for that. And again, people have your contact information. Hopefully we'll get time for some questions. I'm going to go now to Judy, please.
Good morning, everybody. I'm from RISE. RISE is a fairly new organization. We were developed in 2009. And it was formed in Toronto at the University of Toronto Business with a generous donation from the Rotman family in conjunction with the Center for Addiction and Mental Health. It was brought to Manitoba and Saskatchewan by a donation from the Let's Talk Foundation. Next slide, please. We're an organization that runs across Canada. We do training, mentorship, microfinancing. We do financial support such as budgeting, debt relations, any kind of support that you need to start and run a business. We also work with financial supports. Our clients, 60% of whom are women, have reported that there's a huge difference in their lifestyle by becoming an entrepreneur. Next slide, please. We work in conjunction with the Canadian Mental Health Association from Manitoba and Winnipeg. And we have courses through that stream that will help entrepreneurs. We have networking tips. We have courses to navigate relationships, business and personal. We have maintaining wellness on the job. And one of the most important ones is practicing self-care so we can make a work-life balance. Ivy is one of our success stories, and you can read a little bit more about her on our sites. Next slide, please. Our programs are small business lending is one of our biggest. We do peer startup support programs where you will be introduced and met and can meet with other peers in the same type of businesses that you're in. Some of the training is for the youth entrepreneurs and small business programs. Those are offered through our Toronto office, and the ages start at 16 for those. Next slide, please. Our small business lending program is the one most people are applying for. We offer low interest loans from averages about $4,000, but we can go up to $10,000. We have micro loans of $500 as well to do any kind of small project that you might have. If you want to do a farmer's market and you need to buy extra inventory, we can support with that and events as well as long-term programs. We support you in the businesses by helping you build a cash flow and a business plan and help you to see where you're moving forward in your business. All we ask is that you're an motivated entrepreneur. You self-identify as having experienced mental health and or addiction challenges. You're unable to go to a regular bank for financing, and that you're not active in bankruptcy or behind in support payments or government payments of any kind. You need to reside in Canada and also be a Canadian citizen. We are a character-based lender, so our loans aren't dependent on credit scores or past history. We're more interested in what you've done in the last little while and how you've managed to kind of work through any situations that you're in. Next slide, please. Most of our clients have up to 92% of them have said that they've gained professional skills in areas such as general business, financial management, and critical thinking. 100% of our clients have said that their business has grown with the support of RISE and the RISE mentorship programs. We offer little classes along the way, and our business advisors are there to help you throughout the career of your business. 58% of our clients are women, and 66% of those are 30 plus, and 34% of those are 29 and younger. So there are no age limits with anyone other than you have to be 16 to start. Okay, next slide, please. And there's my contact information for Winnipeg at risehelps.ca. You can get a hold of me at any time. We also go to the RISE website at risehelps.ca, and that's where our application is. You merely fill out the application and they'll put you in contact with the rep closest to you. So as a business advisor, I work through Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and a little bit into Ontario. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judy. I really appreciate that. And again, last but not least, I'm going to ask Tahira to come onto the screen. Tahira, over to you.
Okay, hello everyone. I would like to begin by acknowledging that I am on the traditional lands referred to as Treaty 6 territory. So my name is Tahira again, and I run my own accounting and consulting firm in the city called Tula Accounting and Consulting. So yeah, I support entrepreneurs in managing their business finances and improving their profitability through one-on-one financial strategy sessions. I do part-time CFO services, and I do monthly group coaching sessions. So what sets me apart? So I started, sorry, one second. I started offering traditional accounting services, and I noticed entrepreneurs, and specifically women, needed more support, and I had the skill set to give them more support. I didn't want to just file their taxes. I wanted to provide them with more insights and have conversations about their finances and help them to be more strategic. So that's exactly what I started doing. So I slowly started offering more forward-looking and strategic partnerships to my clients. And now that's where I spend most of my time. And also to note, I also noticed that women were excited to work with me. They often don't feel comfortable speaking about money with the traditional people they speak to money with, maybe because of their history with money, certain insecurities, or perhaps sometimes they just feel like they're being talked down to. So women feel safe and comfortable with me, and I offer a judgment-free space to learn and grow. I understand that a lot of us, none of us were taught how to manage money, and we're all expected to know it. But so I approach everyone with thinking there's no baseline knowledge you have to know to be a business owner or to work with me. And that's how I talk to my clients. So I wanted to talk about my core programming today, and it's something called the Money Club. So I noticed that entrepreneurs, they don't have time or knowledge to manage their finances. It takes regular work and it takes support from a professional. If you need money, you need to be able to review your finances and articulate to someone who's offering funding how much you need and what you're going to do with it. And that takes a lot of work. And then once you receive financing, you need to manage it to make sure it's working to make you money. And yeah, so this all takes continuous work that I was noticing that entrepreneurs weren't spending the time and they didn't know how to do it. So I designed this monthly program that will support entrepreneurs in learning everything they need to know, and then also give them the space to do that work every month. Next slide. So this is a little small, but essentially how it works, and this is all on my website. So we meet for 2 hours every month. They're held on Thursdays at 11 this time is wrong. They're held on once a Thursday a month, and it's on Zoom. So the live group format helps keep everyone accountable. So what you get is you get accountability to look at your finances every month. I go through a topic every month, and so you'll get some sort of working document or educational document to help you support with that learning. You get access to me. So the way it's structured is the first hour is an educational piece, and the second hour is a working session. And during that working session, I'm just here, I'm working alongside with you. And if you have questions, if you're in your books, if you're looking at your numbers, you can just ask me any questions. So what you really get is the confidence and skills required to master your business finances. And then the investment, I've tried to make it really accessible because I want anyone to be able to join who's an entrepreneur. So it's $50 a month, and I ask for a minimum 6-month commitment and show up every month. And I do offer recordings. I know sometimes people can't join live, but I really encourage the live sessions so that you're doing the work every month in your business. Yeah, so that's all I had for you. The other thing I'll say is you can also find me at the WELL Collaborative. I'm a partner, and it's a community group to support women entrepreneurs. And I also offer free office hours through the WELL Collaborative. So you can check that website out too, or you can contact me. And the next slide is my contact details. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tahira, and thank you to all of our speakers today. I do have a question, and we only probably have time for one question. And the question, I think several of you may be able to respond, and keeping in mind we have about 5 minutes left. So the question is, where can you find very, very basic information about starting a business? Like, for example, how do you ensure you have an income while starting to grow your revenue? So Olu, I don't know if you're still there. Olu, I don't know if you want to start to talk a little bit just, about some of the services WESK might have, and then I'll ask others if they want to add something as well. So very, very basic information about starting a business.
Okay, we have resources that speaks to the business plan, the cash flow, and the ideation process. There's a knowledge hub on our website. So once you get on the website, there are tons of past webinars and some other documents that you can use to guide your entrepreneurship journey.
And
So,
Olo, that information is free and open, kind of some of, okay.
yes, that is free and open, but to get onto our programs, the financing part, you need to register as a member, and we have 3 categories of membership. So once you get to the website, you see the one that suits your current journey, and you sign up for it, and it's renewable annually.
Thank you so much, Olu. I'm going to ask if everyone might come back on the screen, if that's okay. Is anyone else here would like to make a comment as well? Susan, yeah, please, and then Cree.
I would just say, if you're in rural Saskatchewan, you're welcome to meet with any of our staff. And also we offer a startup checklist for how to start a business in Saskatchewan. And that's on our website, and it's available to anybody if you're in rural or if you're in Saskatoon and Regina. And it goes step by step, all the steps you need. And it also has a kind of a question and answer workbook that you can also go through. So please feel free to use those resources. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Susan. Cree?
Well, when my clients don't know where to start or anything, I usually refer them to Square One. They have offices in Saskatoon and Regina, so they have that's all free of cost up to a point, I believe. And they've got templates, they've got market research, and they've got advisors there to speak with clients, entrepreneurs, to just on how to start a business, I guess.
Thanks so much, Cree. And Chelsea?
Make sure I lower my hand. Yes, my simplest answer would be give us a call. I will typically be the one on the other line. Clients will call, just inquire and be like, hey, I have this crazy idea. What do you think? And then we'll chat for a bit. If they qualify for our program, so anyone with a health condition, we can connect you with our business coach. And then we go through step by step. Okay, where are you? Where do you need to go? What's the next thing you need to do? And it's all of our programming is free and unlimited. So we're very, very accessible.
Great, thank you very much. I also want to reinforce really what Chelsea has said, that notion of reaching out to really any one of the people on here today, because my experience is if they're not the person who can answer even the most basic question, this is a network, right, of resources that are available across our province. And whoever it is, if you speak to any one of these people, they're going to direct you to someone that you can have that type of conversation with without feeling intimidated, without feeling overwhelmed, and without you having to make a huge commitment of your time or money if that's what you're in an exploration stage. I know we are pretty much at time. I want to thank all of our panelists today, Olu, Cree, Melissa, Susan, Chelsea, Jesse, Hassan, Judy, and Tahira. I mean, what an amazing lineup of people to be able to get in and packed into 1 hour webinar. As I said earlier, this is recorded and we're going to make this available on the WEKH website, but we'll also send the link to all of you, all our panelists here today. So if you want to share that resource with your network as well, and anyone who is attending today, we will send up a follow-up to let you know where the link is in case you want to watch this or a particular part of this, or to be able to share it with someone else who can benefit from the information shared today. So again, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Steve as well from AV Services, and Asba, of course, who really coordinated all of this behind the scenes. I look forward to seeing you all at our next webinar, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the week. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of day.